Yesterday we were talking about prayer promises, and I promised we'd talk about how to bring the most precious, special thing to a person in need that you can bring to them, and that is spiritual life. A connection with God. Through your prayers, you can bring someone to God. Just like the four men that brought their friend to Jesus, and they tore open the roof and they let him down. And when Jesus saw their faith, he said to the sick man, he said to the man who could not walk, the lame man who had been on a cot all his life, Jesus said to him, "Thy sins are forgiven you. Rise up and walk." Now, my friend, there's something we can do to bring spiritual life to those around us in spiritual darkness. In Luke chapter 11, when the disciples said, "Lord, teach us to pray," the elementary school of prayer was, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name." You know that prayer. But then he went on to tell a story in verse 5. And he said to them, "Which of you has a friend who will go to him at midnight and say to him, 'Friend, lend me 3 loaves. For a friend of mine has arrived on a journey, and I have nothing to set before him.' And he will answer him from within, 'Do not bother me. The door is now shut, and my children are with me in bed. I cannot get up and give you something. I tell you, and this is Jesus speaking, I tell you, though he will not get up and give him anything because he is his friend, yet because of his importunity, because of his persistence, he says he will rise and give him whatever he needs." And then the great prayer promise of the New Testament, Jesus says, "I tell you, ask and it will be given you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be given to you." And then he even says it again, just in case you missed what he said. It's so wonderful. He says, "For everyone who asks receives, everyone who seeks finds, and everyone who knocks, it will be open to him." So my friend, today, I want to encourage you in asking bread for your friend. So here he says, and he tells the story, which of you have a friend. So you're a friend, you're in bed, you're sleeping with your kids, and somebody shows up and says, "I need some bread." And so you go to a friend at midnight and say to him, "A friend has come to my house and he needs some bread. He's hungry and I don't have anything to give him." That's like you and me. We have friends all around us who are in darkness, who are in sin, who are desperately in need of a relationship with God. And we just don't know what to give them. So we go to our friend, who is our friend. That's God. That's Jesus. And we say, "I need some bread for my friend." But it's as if God doesn't hear us. It's as if God says, Go away. I'm sleeping. I'm with my kids. I don't have time for you." And you go, "Oh God, surely you don't mean that." And so we go back to the friend, and we keep going to the friend. And he says, the friend, even though he doesn't give him what he needs because of the fact that he is his friend, he says because of his importunity, because of his persistence, he finally gets up and gives him what he needs. In other words, God says, don't quit asking. Ask and you will receive. Keep seeking, you will find. Keep knocking, it will be open to you. This is one of the great prayer promises. You see, bread. Why would he say bread? Because Jesus is the bread of life. And if we're going to give the bread of life to those spiritual, hungry people all around us, we must go to the Father. We must go to our friend. And sometimes he seems to say no. Sometimes he seems to be silent. But my friend, you keep knocking. You keep asking. You keep seeking for your friend that needs bread. He's desperately in need of bread. And you keep asking. And my friend, one day, God will help you give that bread to that person, that friend, that relative, that loved one, and they'll come to a relationship with Jesus Christ. This is what this is about. This is seeking. This is asking. And that is what? For bread. Not just asking for me. You ask amiss. God says that you might consume it on your own lust. But ask and you will receive. Seek and you'll find. Knock and it'll be given to you. What a prayer promise. May God help us to claim that promise and be persistent in going to the Father every day. God bless and have a great day.